Geek Tank Radio, News Talk 98.9, the roar of Memphis.
This is Geek Tank Radio on News Talk 98.9, the roar of Memphis. And, wow, I'm sitting here with my partner in culinary crime. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, Allan. We're Joe-less today.
We're Joe-less, so
we've got planes.
We have got a lot of planes.
We're coming to you live from the Mid-South Air Show here in Millington, and it is, well, everything's gotten underway. We are watching a squadron of biplanes right now as they prepare for a mock dogfight, and I can't tell exactly what this is coming over the top of us, but it is coming in behind us.
The two little snub nose.
Oh, man. Anyway, we're going to probably talk a lot about planes
chasing
today.
The bomber.
We'll get into other things. Of course, this is Geek Tank Radio. I'm stopped.
Well, that's all right. We'll tag out and go. All right, we're right here off the edge of the tarmac. We're in Millington, Tennessee, at the Millington Airport. So if you have come out today to see this, it is a absolutely gorgeous day. Blue skies, nice breeze, and somehow or another, Ditch was the man of all men and got us positioned right behind the food booths.
Yeah, we can smell all the goodness.
Oh, my goodness. All right. You know, it's fair food, but that half-pound hamburger, I gotta admit, was pretty
filling.
tasty.
It was filling, I can tell you that much. But
Brandon, we have an hour of geekdom to get to.
We have an hour of geekdom to get to. We've got various, Lightyear just opened this weekend.
Buzz Lightyear just opened up. We just saw a trailer for I'm going to say a low-budget film called The Princess.
Oh, God. I wouldn't say it's low budget, but it stars Joey King, which Netflix fanatics will know her from the Kissing Booth 2, and the Why Did We Make It Kissing Booth 3.
Yes. But and it is a medieval movie with a Joan Jett soundtrack.
Yes, and if you've ever watched the show Disenchantment on Netflix, imagine that, just live action without a little imp. And that is exactly what we just got.
So that one looks pretty good. We've got a lot of other heavy-duty geekdom things coming along. We've got a lot of big movies coming out. We got a lot of hints.
We do. I bought my ticket for Thor: Love and Thunder the other day. I am going by myself because I don't want to be around other geeks like Joe. I love Joe, but watching a movie with him is like watching a movie with a 4-year-old.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
He gets so excited, but at the same time, it's like, chill. Let me have some of this energy. We've also, being out here, I want to take a moment while we're here to talk about Top Gun Maverick, which is still running roughshod over the box office.
As well it should.
It is Tom Cruise's highest-grossing film of all time.
And probably the single most touching cameo ever.
Yeah, I'm
just rolling that out there.
We're gonna delve into some spoilers here.
Just rolling that out there. If that doesn't touch you,
I mean, first of all, I love Val Kilmer.
I don't care what kind of movie it was. Really, don't care.
Spoiler alert.
He could be the comic relief. He could be your leading man. But Val Kilmer delivers, and he definitely delivers in this film.
Yes.
He delivers the most emotional thing I've ever seen Tom Cruise go through. And I've seen Vanilla Sky.
Oh. Well, let's see. So where do we want to start first, sir?
I want to go ahead and, like I said, I want to talk a little bit more about Maverick, the new Top Gun sequel.
I can't imagine why.
Well, I will tell you exactly why. It's because we are out here at the Mid-South Air Show, and the Blue Angels are here.
They are.
And as was informed to me earlier today by Ditch, one of the Blue Angels out here had been repurposed and was used in the movie Top Gun Maverick. And if you've never seen the Blue Angels maneuver, if you've never seen them fly, if you've never seen a show that featured them, you are missing out.
I was here Thursday for the practice run.
Right.
And I've never seen 4 airplanes 3 feet apart, 500 feet off the ground, go by upside down.
You've never seen that before?
Not when I was 500 feet from it and could smell the jet engine backwash. No, it was quite the experience.
Yeah. I'm an air show kid. Thanks to my grandfather and my family, I grew up coming to air shows, and that was always one of the greatest things, is to get as close as you could to the airfield to watch the Blue Angels. And when you're a little kid, someone's going to throw you on their shoulders so you can see everything. And I'm not a fan of the sun because I come away looking like a tomato, but it's always worth it when you get to watch the Blue Angels. I've been in actual arguments on who's better, the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds, and It doesn't matter. It's always going to be the Blue Angels. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we might even make it to Mars today.
We might.
Because there has been some, how should we say, breaking or shocking news from Mars.
Breaking or shocking news.
Whichever way you want.
I don't want to call it shocking news because of the fact that it's something we've all been theorizing for a while.
That's true.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and lay that on, folk?
You want to take this?
Let's go ahead and jump into
Mars. It's Mars. It's the NASA rover.
Right.
It's doing its thing. It's going all over Mars. But keep in mind, we've been exploring Mars now for, honestly, I can use the word decades.
Yes.
Some of the experiments we've conducted on Mars has been far more successful than others.
Right.
We have a few really desperately failed missions to Mars. Yes. We even planted a probe, like 183 feet deep into Mars by accidentally messing up the math. Well,
we're supposed to be better than that.
Yeah, well, somebody got feet and metric backwards, and we planted that baby.
I'm gonna blame somebody from Florida.
So, I'm gonna go over here to Mashable, and I'm gonna look at their line here, and the tagline is a NASA rover just found trash on Mars.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So there's trash in the deepest part of the ocean that we can see with our current available technology.
Okay.
So that's about...
when you say trash, you mean like space trash? I mean, it's not like someone left a Mountain Dew bottle.
Well, it's thermal material.
Okay, so it's our fault.
It's our trash.
It's our trash.
So we find a new planet.
We haven't even established our first colony, and we're already polluting this place.
I went, somehow there's irony involved in this story. So while looking for hints for past microbial Martian life,
right?
The Perseverance rover,
which is trucking along really well,
right, spotted landing debris caught on a rock. It's thermal material, and it was used to protect the Perseverance spacecraft. And, well...
So, basically what you're saying is that this is tantamount to you going out in your backyard and finding the bag of blueberry seeds that you planted last spring, and you were wondering, what happened to the rest of this bag?
I wonder where the bag went.
Right.
I wonder where the bag went. That's where the bag went.
Okay.
So, now I'm not going to alert you or anything, Brandon, but if you look to your left, there was a very loud sound, and there's a lot of black smoke.
That's because they dropped a mop charge.
Yeah.
Because
that airplane looks unbearably proud of itself as it comes circling back around. And the audience doesn't look worried.
No.
So.
Well, I hope not. We're not close enough to see the faces on the audience, but we can see everything else.
It is indeed. So, welcome to Mars. Please pick up your litter.
Welcome to Millington. Don't breathe in the brown smoke.
Yeah. Welcome to Millington. Duck the airplanes because they're coming in kind of fast here. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can always text us today at the Rick's Powder Coating Hotline at 901-683-0989. If you got a question for Brandon or I today, hit us up. And Max the Marvelous there in the studio, who's enjoying us being on the road for now, the third week in a row?
Yes, he's probably wearing a bathrobe and pajama pants and bunny slippers because he doesn't have to see any of the rest of us.
Yeah, I don't. Max, have you even seen a person in 3 weeks?
Probably not.
Well, he won't admit to it.
I mean, I know Ditch had to come fix things last week, but are you enjoying us being on the road, or are you excited to have us back in next weekend?
It's a mixture of both.
Translation, he's booking us someplace else next week.
Oh, okay.
Got that.
There's plenty of time to find somewhere to go next week.
Just make sure we're indoors, because I think it's supposed to rain next weekend.
Okay.
No, I'm going to book you outdoors precisely for that reason.
Dude, you don't want to have to pay to replace the equipment, and if you book us, you're in charge.
No, I'll waterproof the equipment, but not you guys.
Fair.
That's true. All right, so what are we moving into now, Sir Brandon?
Oh, what else we got, Allan?
We need to, let's continue unpacking a little bit about these movies, because Thor, Love and Thunder
and Thunder, which is, it's great because it is the second big Marvel tentpole movie in just a few months, because, we just had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is hitting Disney Plus on June 22nd, which, that's Wednesday, I think? I don't know. I can't math out here with all these planes. But yeah.
So let's back up to the Multiverse of Madness, in which we got to explore basically the world done on Disney Plus.
It's true. We got to see.
This was not a big setup from the movies. This was more.
We got to see the multiverse really well in Loki.
Right.
We got to see the deviation of the timelines when they defeated He Who Remains at the end of that series, which also threw another wrench in the works by making it where Loki is the first Marvel series to be given a second season.
True.
That being said, Multiverse of Madness, we got to jump through various portals with America Chavez, which took us to various odd universes in a quick montage, only to land us on a world where the Illuminati exists. So we got to see the MCU versions of Reed Richards and Black Bolt and Professor Charles Xavier. For the first time in an MCU movie, we got a mutant. Or we got someone who is actually designated
as a mutant. You got an
Inhuman
and a mutant.
Inhuman and a mutant. And Monica Rambeau's version of Captain Marvel.
We did.
So we Captain Carter, which is straight from the What If cartoon series.
So we got a big folder of things. It's kind of like realizing these might be on the menu.
Right. It was definitely a big tease. It's like you figure Doctor Strange at some point is going to go find these people in the regular MCU and build a team of his own. But jumping ahead into Thor: Love and Thunder, we start off with Thor. He's a part of the Ravagers right now. He's hanging out. Well, the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's hanging out with Star-Lord and them.
He's slumming.
It's all right. But he's getting in shape. He's doing the interplanetary god CrossFit.
Yep. You saw that. You can strap a spaceship to your back and go tow it around the planet a few times.
Decides he's going to work for peace instead of, continuing the fight, only to get embroiled in a battle in a Norwegian-style setting when all of a sudden he senses Mjolnir nearby.
Yes.
He tries to call it to him as if it was his faithful dog, only to find it in the hands of his former girlfriend, Jane Foster, who is full-on Thored up herself. And I have got to say, Natalie Portman has put in the work. The muscle tone in her arms is not CGI, people. That's straight up her. So I'm excited to see where they take the story, where it's going to deviate from the Thor comics where Jane got the hammer. I'm excited to see Valkyrie back on the screen.
Yes.
Of course, seeing the Guardians is always fun, but I don't think they're going to spend a whole lot of time on the screen.
I don't know. Depending upon how you read the adverts, it's kind of like we're going to use them to get the story started, and then they're going to be there for the big throwdown.
Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna jumpstart the movie, but when it comes down to fighting the God Slayer Gore, I don't really see Star-Lord and Groot and Rocket doing a whole lot, because they've got to go get prepared for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special. One coming to Disney Plus later this year, the other coming to theaters next year.
All right, I got a weird Marvel question for you.
Okay.
That you would be uniquely qualified
I'm
to...
either going to answer it or answer it with so much hogwash that you'll believe me.
Either one is going to be appropriate.
Right.
Because at the end of Guardians 2,
right,
Ego is killed.
Yes.
The light of that one particular Celestial, or whatever he was, I think they called him a Celestial. He was Ego.
He's technically an Eternal.
The living planet. Right.
But,
Okay.
I believe, or
All
an
right.
External. He's one of them things.
Has anybody else noticed the absolute irony of the fact that a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 takes place in the head of one of Star-Lord's relatives?
That's pretty funny. But it
because they said it was a giant celestial being the size of a planet, and now they're mining it.
Yeah.
So are they setting up mining? Can you follow Star-Lord around and set up Celestial Mining Corporation and because now there's another planet that could be mined?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm just kind of going, all right, there's
But
2 in a row.
You've got to remember, they've got...
And we still got a Star-Lord.
We saw a little something in the end credits of Guardians Volume 2 that's going to pretty much preoccupy Star-Lord's time here shortly. And that's the fact that Adam Warlock is being birthed.
Well...
And he's being played by Will Poulter, who...
Yes.
You've seen him in 100 things. I think the most recent thing that he was in that would catch the geekdom's eye was Maze Runner. He played the guy. He played the foil, not necessarily the villain, but the foil of Dylan O'Brien's character, whose name I can't remember because I've only seen those movies once, and that was more than enough. But he was also originally tapped to play Pennywise in the remake of It, only to lose that when the director he was working with vacated the property.
Right. And
we got Bill Skarsgård in instead, who I think... Nothing on Will Poulter. He's an amazing actor. But Skarsgård nailed it as Pennywise.
Yeah, it's very, very, very scary.
Very, very creepy.
Very, very scary. Okay, so we've got him coming, but I'm finding it interesting that they're leaving open the interesting part, because we've just had Star-Lord hanging out with a legitimate listed age-old god.
Right.
Thor. Thor is not introduced as an immortal.
No.
Thanos was an immortal. Ronan was an immortal. But they were not listed as gods.
Right. Ronan is the accuser. Thanos is a titan.
But, the big words were they were immortals.
Right.
So they were not listed as, quote-unquote, an MCU god.
No.
Now, in Love and Thunder, we're going to get introduced to the other pantheon.
Yes. Actually, we will probably see more than just the ones we've seen in the trailer.
Right.
So
there's going to be more than one, and of course, we all know what scene they're using for the Greeks.
Yeah, we've seen the naughty scene.
Yeah. Anybody want a grape? Yeah. Kind of thing.
Definitely, touching a little bit on an adult, situation.
So, are they just having that much fun with this?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it not? Is the MCU still lightened up, got the sense of humor, and the fact that Chris Hemsworth is probably the funniest action star that has breathed in a long time?
It's true. He brings the humor with the action and the pretty back abs.
And just to be perfectly honest, he was hilarious in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I love how he says that. It's like, he actually said in an interview that he was either going to ruin that movie or ruin his career, and he did neither.
No, he had a lot of fun.
He had a lot of fun. And,
he just had a lot of fun.
And I don't care how much you hate it. I had a lot of fun watching Ghostbusters 2016. I would answer the call for a sequel.
Well, it's one of these things where somebody goes, Allan, would you ever be in Sharknado 37?
Yes.
Brandon and I are both go, call now. Yeah. We'll do it.
We'll do it for scale.
We bring our own chainsaws.
Yeah.
We can. We could do stuff like that.
If necessary, we'll bring our own shark.
Wow. Well, I do have people in New Orleans right now. Let me know. We got to pick one up.
We'll figure it out.
We can figure it out. We'll put somebody to work on it.
I mean,
somebody can put us together with a shark.
I've got to be more famous than Tara Reid by this point.
I don't know. That'd be
or at least more bankable.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
I'm going to say this is Geek Tank Radio on News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis, and if we live through this, we'll be back after the break.
Geek Tank Radio.
Mr. Funny Bunny here will gauge your reaction by bombarding your brains with harmless snuggle rays.
He gives me a nice warm feeling in my eyeballs.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
And this is Geek Tank Radio.
I'm experiencing engine envy.
Is the military finally coming after you?
This is where we can look at the audience and go, guess where we are? Ladies and gentlemen, we are having an absolute stunning time at the Millington Air Show out here. And we're going to get joined real quickly by Marlon Evans. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Now, you are one of the commissioners for this, right?
I am. I'm the most recent elected commissioner here.
Okay, so what does that mean? What do you do to make this happen?
We pretty much set the budgets, hire for the airport. We support Roy Remington, the superintendent,
right,
in all of his efforts, and we kind of keep an eye on the budget and make sure everything's running good.
You keep the bills paid.
Keep the bills paid.
That is very important.
Try to get new businesses in,
absolutely.
And we are growing by leaps and bounds right now.
That is awesome.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about the air show before that bombing run gets here.
I'll try to be quick.
Here he comes.
Yeah. You'll know it when he gets here.
Yeah. Oh, my. No, because it looks like he's going 2 miles an hour now.
Yeah, you would think they would just fall out of the sky, but they're incredible.
That is stunning.
Yes. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. That's something else.
Woo! All right. If I can horribly inadequately describe what that was, it was a very large jet standing on its rear end and walking down the runway.
Going very, very slowly. Like I said, you would think they would just drop out of the sky, but those guys are incredible. They know what they're doing, and it just wows everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
Amazing.
What does it take to get a show like this put together? I mean, who is taxed with calling all these guys and saying, "Hey, can you bring your aircraft to Millington for the Mid-South Air Show?"
Well, Roy has a big hand in that. He's worked very hard at getting a lot of these planes out here. We have to give kudos to one of our board members also, Jim Buffalino. He works for FedEx and has got a lot of planes out there for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have probably more planes on the ground than we've ever had to look at.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go.
You know, I think I would want to ride on those until they come by. They'd probably have to have some Windex and some paper towels if I got in that thing.
Yeah. I as a kid, I've grown up going to air shows with my grandfather. It's like this is my first one attending since he's passed, and it's like I've had a few emotional moments being out here. Yeah. But you guys have put on a great show so far.
Thank you. This is one of the biggest. This is probably the biggest we have ever had, and a lot of it had to do with we didn't get to have the last one due to COVID.
Right.
And then all the restrictions have lifted, pretty much all of them, and a lot of vendors want to come in, a lot of new planes want to come in, and it is a lot bigger than we normally have. We've had quite a few ticket sales, more than ever. We broke records. I don't know exactly how many yet, but
that's awesome.
This is probably the biggest air show we've ever had.
Well, I mean, this is like going to see the Rolling Stones with the Blue Angels as your headliner.
That's right.
You know?
That is right. Those guys are incredible. I've met a couple of them out here. Super, super nice guys. and just incredible what they can do with those planes.
There is a lady who is on their maintenance crew who I believe came up through Naval Air Station Millington. If I'm not mistaken.
Probably I saw her out there. I didn't know.
Yeah.
There, I did see her.
Because there was a lot of people hugging her and they knew her, and somebody said, she came up through Naval Air Station.
She probably did. There's a lot of the Navy guys that come here and end up retiring here in Millington. It's everybody knows it's a pretty big naval base with a lot of retirees here, so we're glad to have them. They're great people.
So the show goes on today, and then it's rerun it all again tomorrow.
Rerun it all again tomorrow. The weatherman says it's supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but it doesn't look like it's holding anybody back today because
I'll say
it's very busy.
Honestly, after this past week, today is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It feels like the heat is broke just enough to keep the crowd out here.
A little bit of a breeze.
Yeah.
We got lucky because we always worry about weather and the rain. And when I saw the forecast for this whole week, I said, it's going to be sunny and hot.
Yeah. Well, the humidity's down, so that's good.
Yeah, it is. Not too bad. It's good weather.
Yeah. Now, what for you is, for somebody who's behind the scenes putting on a show like this and involved in the show, I mean, you got to get kind of geeky about some of this stuff. Was there something in particular that has really attracted you?
Well, growing up as a kid, I loved airplanes. A lot of kids did. They built model airplanes, and then when I was a kid, they had the little string-held Cox engine airplanes we used to play with. Those things.
He sneaks up on you.
That's fast. That is fast.
And that was the sonic boom right there. Honestly, you could actually see it right behind the tower right next to us.
Now he's in Mississippi.
He must have been listening. He must have been listening. He said, I am what's getting you geeked out, and I'm going to show you.
No, it's just incredible to be that close up to these planes and know the power that they have, and then to see them in person. You see these things as a kid, and they're neat to look at in pictures, but to see them in real life and smell the fuel and touch the wow, it's great.
Well, there's something to be said for not just the power of what we just witnessed, but then also the prop planes and some of the maneuvers that they were doing earlier.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what these guys can do.
Yeah. Those the guys in the newer planes, they have all the latest gadgets. A computer can almost fly them, almost. It takes a very big skill for those other guys, but these prop plane guys, they are really talented with what they can do with a little bit of a control. If you look at some of these planes, all you see is a stick and a couple foot pedals. I'm thinking, how do they do that?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the guy we got right now, he's flying the closest thing we have in humanity to an X-wing fighter.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's basically doing it with the Force.
You guys also, I don't know if it's not luck, but boy, how about the coincidence of Top Gun at the same time and the big a success as it is.
Yeah, we have talked about that. Everybody's been talking about that movie and this being done this weekend. So if they don't go to the show tomorrow, they may probably at the theater tonight watching Top Gun and be really pumped up when they come out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be losing their minds.
Yeah.
I happened to be here Thursday while they were making some of the practice runs. And it was jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
Just watching, and this is just the practice run. You're not serious.
Yes.
And the
Allan,
maneuvers
they're
were just
always
amazing.
serious.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys, and some of these planes, the military planes, you can walk up to them, but when there was nobody out here, you got too close, you see people come out of the shadow and kind of look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Once you approach them too
here?
close. But they're full of power.
And the thing about the Blue Angels, I don't care how many times you've seen them. I was in radio and worked at a radio station in Pensacola, so for us it was almost a daily thing. You'd see them practicing. It's where they're based out of. But it's still just incredible to watch. As you said earlier, Allan, it looks like they're 3 feet wing to wing, flying at 700 miles an hour, whatever it is. And the skill and the precision of that is just
unbelievable. And it never gets old.
No,
never gets old. But
well, we want to say we appreciate the hospitality that you guys have
He's spun around.
I
saw him actually turn on a dime, and I went, and he's coming back, there's now another one.
He was in Covington like 2 minutes ago, man.
Where'd he come from?
Yeah. But we appreciate the hospitality, you guys letting us come out.
Hey,
and
thank you guys for coming
and
out.
Sitting and having a great time, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you. This has been amazing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Having a blast.
So I guess we're going to get probably one more run by here. There's 2 of them now up in the air.
Yeah, they're chasing each other up there.
Now they're having fun. They're like, all right, my turn.
Yeah.
But you know what I noticed though, when that jet just flew over, it looked like there was like clouds around his wings, like he was almost going so fast you couldn't see him.
Well,
he was a blur.
Actually, he was going so fast he was splitting the air.
Oh,
that is what they call that. Saw.
That's the scientific term.
Well, it's kind of like the cracking of a whip. Something moves faster than sound can move, and it creates a negative space. And what you hear is the air collapsing back into that space. So when he saw it boom right here next to us, if you looked at the end of the plane, you saw that snap in the air.
It looks like a water balloon exploding.
It looks like, I've seen one on video. I've never seen one that close.
But now we have.
I have.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so you next movie when you want to show me a fight in flight, you're going to have to step it up, guys, because this was absolutely amazing. So, we were talking about something, I'm not sure what at this point, other than bombing runs and things flying by real fast. And the smell of Pronto pups. But,
there's just something about being here in person. If you couldn't make it out here to Millington today, the show goes on again tomorrow. Do whatever you can to get out here and check this out, because there's nothing like seeing it up close and personal.
And the other thing, there are those who like to come out and see the might of the American military, and that's on display everywhere. There's also the prop planes, the historical planes, and the guys who have they've made that their life to keep that aircraft up and to use to bring it out to shows like this. But the might of the U.S. military is on full display here. The Air Force, the Navy, it's pretty incredible.
This formation coming up, I'm going to be a little distracted because it's 2 jets and a prop.
So we have 2 jets on both sides of the prop plane, and the jets are doing everything they can to go really slow to keep up. It's them basically escorting the prop plane.
And they could ask each other if they have any Grey Poupon as close as they are.
They literally can hand a cold one out of the window to the guy in the prop plane. Here, hold my beer. Watch this. This is what they would do on the southern border. If you had a prop plane or a Cessna plane that did not put in a flight plan or was actually coming down from the southern border or from a border, or just an aircraft that didn't even put in a flight plan, that's how you would see them escorted out. They would get right up on both sides of the wings and say, hey, we don't know who you are. You didn't put a flight plan in with the FAA, so we're going to make sure that you bring this, you get this out of the sky. And sometimes they just they will say they forgot, or recently there was a scare in D.C., but it turned out to be nothing. But that's right. What we just saw was an escort out.
Yeah,
it puts a whole new phrase to the word intimidating.
That's no joke.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, you could think I can fly slower and lower than you.
But no, you can't.
No, you really can't.
Well, and just to give it perspective for those listening and trying to get a better idea of what we're seeing is those 2 jets on both sides of the prop plane kind of doing an escort out. They were so close to that. The pilot of the prop plane, if he couldn't hear them on a radio, they were so close he could look at them and read their lips.
Yeah, you could point and go back.
Yeah.
Turn around, or we're going to do something bad to you.
Yeah.
So and welcome, and I'm going to throw this in as a welcome to the other side and other end of geekdom. No matter what you're into, there is something you will geek out about.
Yeah.
And geeking out about it means learning as much about it as you can, enjoying it, and when you go to a festival like this, because here they come back, and now they are under him.
Yep.
They are now behind him and under him, just snuggled up under his wings. That is just amazing. But this goes to show you of the skill level. So whatever you think you've seen in a movie, when you see it honestly for real, it is far more impressive. So welcome to the skill level of these people, the thousands of hours and the millions of dollars that are invested in their training.
What other movies can you guys think of? Top Gun, of course, is the most prominent because it's first thing on people's minds right now because of its success at the box office. Can you think of other movies off the...
Louis Gossett Jr. and Jason Gedrick in Iron Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Kid's
Iron
dad
Eagle's
gets
good.
shot down on the, behind enemy lines, taken prisoner. The military won't do anything. They disavow the entire operation. So he and his friends, and they get Louis Gossett Jr., who's a retired, airman. They go and get his dad back, and it's inspirational. At the same time, you're like, of course, some '80s kid's going to cause some trouble.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Of the indoor moon speeder chase, which was
Snake on a plane.
no, not
please.
snakes on a plane, but the original.
Right over the top of us.
Because they actually had, fighter pilots, trained stunt pilots, designing that chase through the trees.
I actually have a movie in mind.
Max,
which one you got, Max?
what do you got?
It actually harkens back to one of my favorite times of aviation history, and it's called Flyboys. It's with James Franco, and it's about this famous group of pilots from World War I called the Lafayette Escadrille, which were which consisted of American soldiers that were flying French planes like the Newport 17. I just have a real interest in that era of aviation history because I've always really enjoyed or been interested in the study of World War I.
Nice. I'm going to throw out there Midway and Tora Tora Tora.
Midway. Yeah, yep.
And I'm going to hit you up with a hometown favorite, Memphis Belle.
Yes, an awesome movie. And I'll throw in a twisted side one. When they were making those jaunty jalopy movies, they had the great race. They had an aviation race of all the crazy inventors and their 1905, built in a barn aircraft.
Okay.
It was just hilarious watching them try to start them, keep them in the air, the things that they were doing, the crazy materials they were using. Aviation today is this very sleek, very design-oriented idea.
And a big part of Star Wars is rooted in aviation.
I could have read the bottom of those planes.
But they were read the bottom of that one.
I mean, the sound of the clone gunships I thought were Sopwith camels. So there you go in terms of aviation in Star Wars.
Well,
there you go.
Well, you get into the history, especially pre-World War I, and you get into they were making airplanes out of anything. Honestly, you had starched cloth, you had aluminum, you had basically any material that they thought they could get taut enough and lightweight enough to get in the air. They were trying to make an airplane out of it.
Okay, just to invoke a little bit of Joe to this episode, who was it that designed the cloth winged plane that looked kind of like a batarang?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I thought you were going to ask me like the Spruce Goose or something, and I could say that was the reclusive millionaire.
We're not worried about that.
Well, he was also an ace pilot too.
Well, yeah, but I mean the Spruce Goose was like completely made out of wood, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Honestly, those reasons called the Spruce Goose.
This would be a good call to the Rick's Powder Coating text line if you know.
Yeah.
683-0989. What was the question again, Brandon?
Where was I? Oh yeah, who designed? We've all seen the black and white video of the plane that had the cloth bat-shaped wings. Who designed that?
Interesting question.
So yeah, guys. In fact, I'll put something on the line if you guys can get us through the Rick's Power Coating text line. First person to give us the correct answer before next week, I'll give you 2 3-day passes to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention.
I thought you were going to say before 1.
No. I'll give them.
They got 8 minutes.
They have to be the first person to do it.
Max,
the thing is, Max will answer it before then.
Well, Max probably has the answer, huh?
I was curious about whether or not you're talking about like the old versions of like the bat, like the Batwing and everything, because I thought I've seen versions where it's I'll wait for
I'm sorry, Max. We had F-22s cross right above us.
Unfortunately, we couldn't hear you, Max.
No, yeah, I waited.
But no,
I waited for the plane.
I'm talking about the actual, aeronautic device, because I'm not going to call that thing a plane.
I think
that thing got about 4 feet off the ground and then crashed.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking of it.
Brothers?
I was thinking of like an actual plane that existed like during World War I, like that could look kind of like an old Batwing. It was called a Fokker Eindecker, which it literally translates to like.
What did you just say, Max? Did you just?
Hey! You better bleep yourself,
It's F-O-K-K-E-R.
F-O-K-K-E-R.
Yeah, no, I don't need to bleep.
Yeah, but I was gonna say. We're in the South. You put a little twang on it, it's not going to sound right.
Yeah.
The FCC ain't going to care about what it's spelled like.
Yeah, it's called the Eindecker. I'll just call it that, the F Eindecker.
Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Avoid any potential dumping myself.
Even though there's one of those parked right over here behind us, it's all right.
Anyway, you were saying, Max?
But yeah, that's one that I kind of consider looking like Batwing like and everything, because like it's just a single wing and everything, and it folds kind of like an eagle and everything. Like the wings, like there is no like ailerons on them. The entire wing folds in order to move the plane.
Actually, I think you're hitting exactly what I am. Sorry, listeners, Max already answered it. I'm going to have to give him 2 free passes of the MCFC.
3-day pass?
2 3-day passes to Max.
Looks like Max is gone.
Well, I guess we're going to have to get somebody else to be in the studio for us to broadcast.
Yep.
But that's okay, because
we can send
there was
Joe.
Also in the Smithsonian, there is the other one, which is actually called the Battlplane.
Oh.
So there are multiple answers here.
Wow.
So the tickets are still up for grabs.
That many passes.
So is there another one? We found 2. And Joe's chimed in with Da Vinci, but he didn't make it. He just drew it.
Yeah, he just drew it, Joe. But,
It was made. It was made by a couple of different companies.
Okay,
so.
well, I guess I got to give Joe 3-day passes, too. I mean, he's always wanted to go to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention.
Well, then he's not going to work if you're going to give him passes.
No, that's fine. I just need him to take the money from the vendors.
There we go. There we go.
There we go again.
When you're close enough that you're getting a breeze off of the jets.
That is so cool.
Wow.
That was a little warm.
Okay, all right, but
just pointing out, this is Geek Tank Radio on Newstalk 98.9, the Roar of Memphis.
We always talk about Joe's ears up and tail wagging. I'm going to tell you that's me now.
Yeah, just Brandon, we have completely lost. It is, if these planes get any closer, he's going to get a tattoo, whether he means to or not. So, they put us, literally, we are next to the tower.
Right next to the tower, yeah.
Honestly, we are next to the tower. So
we got the best spot in the house for this, man. This is awesome.
Any other aviation star of... Let's think about some dogfights. There were a lot of great movies. There were a lot of great movies had some great dogfights in them.
My brain's gone, though.
Well, I'm going to go back to Tora Tora Tora.
Okay.
And... some great shots. So, folks, that is us live from the Millington Air Show. We're out here, and this is Geek Tank Radio on Newstalk 98.9.
Yeah.
Come out and watch some airplanes with us.
Today
Y'all have a great afternoon.
And tomorrow all day here at the Mid-South Air Show. Man, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks, Max. Back to the studio. Thanks for listening. Geek Tank Radio.